Happy Valentine's Day to all of our sweethearts out there. Sorry for being late. We just went and took a look at the new culinary center that they're using here at Toledo High, and it's fabulous. Thank you, Rich. Job well done, and looking forward to some wonderful food and students working in that room. Anyway, I'd like to call to order the Lincoln County School Board of Directors district meeting of the board, Tuesday, February 14th. Right now, we will read the land acknowledgement, and Peter will be our reader tonight. Thank you.
We ask that you take a moment to stop what you're doing, to listen to these words as we recognize the land that we currently inhabit. No matter where each of us is physically located in Lincoln County, we must understand that we are on traditional homelands in unceded territories of Indigenous peoples. Where we live in Lincoln County, these are the ancestral homelands for the Confederated Tribes of Siletz Indians. Lincoln County School District acknowledges the Confederated Tribes of Siletz Indians that consists of over 30 bands originating from Northern California to Southern Washington. The Confederated Tribes of Siletz Indians currently occupy and manage 9,310 acres located here in Lincoln County. But this is a mere fraction of their original 1855 1.1 million acre Siletz Coastal Reservation. We must remember the people of the Confederated Tribes of Siletz Indians are and will forever be the first stewards of this land, water, and fish. We acknowledge and recognize the continued sovereignty of the Confederated Tribes of Siletz Indians and honor their ancestral homelands. We are committed to bringing awareness to their history and the existence of the Confederated Tribes of Siletz Indians since time immemorial.
All right, thank you so much. Now we'll establish a quorum. I'll do a roll call. Cynthia McKinley.
Yeah.
Peter Vinci.
Here.
Mike Wells.
Here.
He is on Zoom. Megan Colley.
I'm here.
She's here. Thank you. Liz Martin, chair, is present. So we do have a quorum. Again, appreciate everyone being here tonight. We do have quite a lengthy program tonight. A lot of business taking place in this district, which is, it's all good business. It's awesome. A lot of wonderful things to talk about and share. So moving right along, do we have any introductions tonight, Dr. Gray?
Yes, we do have introductions tonight. I would like the administration of the Lincoln County School District to stand. So I think it's important for the community to see the support that the administration has for the actions of the Lincoln County School District School Board tonight. And I'm very grateful to each and every one of these marvelous, hardworking, compassionate, and kind administrators for the Lincoln County School District. Thank you. You may sit down. I would also like to introduce the staff of the Lincoln County School District. Would you stand? Other than administration, would you stand? These are our
Awesome.
hardworking employees who have chosen to come here tonight and who provide us excellent service, and we just want to recognize them as well. If you are, thank you. If you are a contractor with the Lincoln County School District, would you stand, please? And we want to thank the folks that contract with us for the very services that take care of our children, for custodial care, for food service, and also for transportation. And we so appreciate them being here tonight, so thank you. If you are the parent of a student in Toledo schools of either elementary or junior, senior high school, if you are a parent, would you stand?
Awesome.
And we want to thank you for being so supportive of Lincoln County School District and its school board, and for your own children and teachers and support staff. Thank you so much for being here tonight. And finally, if you are a student of the Lincoln County School District, or have ever been, stand up. And look at this.
I am standing too.
All the people that have ever been a student of the Lincoln County School District and its teachers and admins and students who are currently students. So thank you so much for coming tonight. That's all I have.
We won't say how long ago it was.
No, we won't.
Anyway, at this time, we'll turn over to communications. If anyone wishes to speak tonight, would need to fill out a blue card at the door. Eddie, do we have any blue cards tonight?
No.
Okay, thank you. Any written communication?
None.
All right, so we'll go ahead and move on to recognition. Do we have any special recognitions tonight?
Not yet.
Okay, so we're moving along. Now we will hear a report from a representative of the LCEA. That is Peter.
And Janice. Mhm.
Good evening.
Hi, folks. So tonight, we're do something a little bit different. I'm going to talk for like maybe a minute, 40 seconds. And then Janice is going to tell you about some wonderful things that our teachers are doing in our area. It takes, I mean, how many times we heard it takes a village to raise a city, or a city to raise a village. So everybody in like tonight, everybody's recognized, which is a really good thing. A lot of the teachers in our school district work really, really hard and do some pretty amazing things. Every now and again, someone in your life does something pretty spectacular. And if you look over there, that quilt, that is my Valentine's Day present from my wife.
Oh, aren't you lucky?
It's pretty nice. And so she gave it to me. It's a heart. She gave it to me and the other one a little earlier. And I think she said, what are you gonna do with it? And put up at school. She said, why? This is because it's really important that people know how much we care about each other and how much we care about our students. You can't be a teacher without caring. Can't do a good job without caring. And so Janice, on to you.
Hi, I'm
good evening.
Janice Venture. I am the Lincoln County Education Association Vice President. So we're using the LCA time for both of us.
Oh, nice to meet you.
You too. We've seen a few times. So we wanted to take a moment to just kind of give some educator shout outs from educators. So these are people that are recognized in the building by what they do from the other people who work with them. They don't always get in the cool presentations, but their work is solid, and we just kind of wanted to share that out.
Awesome.
And give some shout outs. So I've got,
We've been asking for this.
I heard, and so I made it happen. In Newport Middle School, we have Taya Kesey and Jan Dickey, and together they are co-teaching humanities. And they take it to the next level. They decorate their doorways and classrooms to fit the time period they are currently studying.
Cool.
And recently they actually had an entire grade level of kids dressed as Egyptians. So and the educator who put them in said, amazing ladies. At TAF 712, we've got Genevieve Gray. Jenny is only a first-year teacher, but she is already doing so much to teach her 9th and 10th grade students. Yesterday, she brought in a guest speaker from the Celeste tribe to talk about local Native history in order to complement her unit on the trickster and Native American stories. And it was really an enriching experience for all of her students. Also at TAF 712, Miracle Fingerson teaches U.S. history. This one's really cool. All right, so Miracle has had her U.S. history students participate in activities that make them relive parts of history. She had students participate in a 3-day simulation where students worked in a factory during the Industrial Revolution. Her classroom was dark. She had the windows open, so it was cold. And there were loud clanging and banging factory noises playing in the background over her speakers. Students calculated their wages, they worked for a foreman, and eventually a labor activist led the workers in a strike. They eventually unionized and participated in collective bargaining with the owner of the factory. It was a really great way for students to learn about the Industrial Revolution. That makes me a little teary. That's so cool. At Sam Case and Newport Middle School, we have the school psychologist, Rachel Bush. Rachel really gets, she loves the fact that she gets to collaborate with families and with students. She gets to spend times conducting assessments, analyzing data, writing reports, and creating plans to help facilitate student growth. But the best part of her job really is the opportunity that she has to connect with students and build relationships. She's truly passionate about supporting diverse learners, accentuating student strengths, and aiding students in overcoming obstacles. And then our last one, Dominic Sharp down at Waldport High School, teaches language arts and drama. Dominic is an exceptional educator who is 100% committed to his students' success. It's advertised everywhere, or even it isn't advertised everywhere or even regularly acknowledged, but he is consistently holding study groups after school to assist kids with iReady prep, SAT prep, and additional readings to help students prepare for big tests or better prepare for upcoming exams. He holds extra credit opportunities and always has at least 75 to 80% turnout for each of his groups and classes.
So Dominic, for years, the last 3 days of spring break, opens up his classroom so they can do these activities. Like Janice says, and showed tonight, in all different areas, we have many different teachers doing great things, showing what they believe in, leading with their hearts in education. Any questions for us?
Ready, have any questions?
Appreciate the report.
I really appreciate the report and I hope that we will continue on because I think
looking
this
forward to
really,
it,
there's
yeah.
so much, many wonderful good things happening and it just brings it to the forefront and congratulations to all of your staff
Thank you.
doing,
It's a great, we are.
It is a
amazing,
village.
Amazing teachers and educators out here. Yeah.
it is a village.
Okay.
So we're all
Thank
part of it. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. Have a good evening.
Yep, you too.
Tonight, we are moving on to budget committee application interviews. We have two zones that are open presently. Zone 3, we have 2 applicants, and Zone 2, we did not receive any applicants, so it remains open. So we'll call up the applicants, Tom Hurst and Matthew Grass.
Could not be here.
Tom Hurst could not be here, so we'll, okay.
Just
Hi.
you.
Welcome. Nice to have you here.
Hello.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Hi.
So how we're gonna do this, we'll just kind of do a little round robin of questions. So everyone's got a question to run by you. Please don't be nervous. We're just,
I'm super nervous, just so
Okay.
you know. I may not
Well,
look
here-
like it, but I'm literally.
this is,
sweating.
these help. No. But it's all good. And then, just the fact that you're here and you're interested in what we're doing, this is how we build community. So I really appreciate that you're here. So
Sure.
don't be nervous and, you just need, everybody passes the exam.
Okay.
So, let's see. Peter, do you want to start with the question that you have? Actually,
We have questions just off this.
Right.
right?
yeah,
That's what-
yeah,
And both sides.
yeah.
Okay,
So I'll let you take
Takes a turn.
number 1.
okay. So Matt, why are you seeking appointment to the budget committee in Lincoln County School District?
So I'm seeking appointment to the budget committee just to help facilitate a balanced budget. Utilizing the resources that are available just in the most conscientious manner that we can.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mike, do you have a copy of the questions? Or if not, that's fine.
I do not have a copy, no.
So I'll go.
Wait a second, I do, as a matter of fact.
Okay, well, would you like to ask the question?
Sure. I'll ask number 2. Please describe what you know about the operation of the school district budget committee.
The operation of the committee is just to review a district's proposed budget. If necessary, make changes to the budget. You know, within obviously the monies available from the local government, you know. And then, you know, to improve or approve and then recommend the budget to the school board.
Thank you.
Making the budget. You are
Awesome.
recommending the
I
budget.
think you've done some really good homework. So I'll go ahead with question number 2. What might you see as your strengths and weaknesses in serving on a public board such as Lincoln County School District Budget Committee?
I think the strengths for myself with this position, you know, would include unbiased opinions. The ability to kind of collectively work in a group with the focus on fairness and equality. A weakness would probably be having never served on a committee like this, a budget committee.
All right.
So, you know,
Yeah.
we kind of starting from,
Gotta learn sometime. Yeah.
you're right, exactly.
All right, thank you so
So-
much. And Cynthia, would you want to go on with question number 4, please?
Yes. Could you tell us any of your past experience and involvement with the school district?
So I have 2 kids in the school district, 9th and 12th grade. And I was a contract bus driver last year. Just 1 year, 1 in, 1 out. But it was a good year. And that was kind of my foray into getting involved with the school district and, you know, just trying to be part of the community and taking a little step in that direction.
Great, well, I appreciate that. Oh, we don't have any more questions. I'm not including you, Megan, but we're out of questions. So at this time, unless anyone has any more questions for Matthew, we'll go ahead and we have a vote. Eddie, can you get the votes from Mike and
Yes, they can submit those to me.
and if you want to, everyone has a paper ballot, go ahead and give them to me
They
and
can either text them to you, Eddie, or they can text them to me.
you should have the paper right there. Right there. That piece of
Okay.
paper. Scientifically, yeah.
Price water.
And the Oscar goes to, no,
Awesome, right?
There's no witness with dogs, but it does go to some.
With you too? Okay, this one.
Okay. Thank you for your patience. It'll be just a moment as we tabulate the results. Like put me on the hot seat, Eddie.
It's on.
And if anyone should know, anyone that lives in zone 2, we would definitely entertain a
Tell us what
candidate.
that zone is.
Yeah, which is on to.
Zone 2 would be from Northeast 58th Street in Newport to Schooner Creek in Lincoln City. That is my zone.
North. Newport.
So,
While we're waiting, I'll describe a little bit. The budget committee has a training in the month of March, which is given by our business directors. And so that people are trained, and then we have a meeting in May. Generally 1 meeting, but sometimes 2, and have a full-on discussion about the legal parameters regarding the budget and how it matches our school improvement. And then take a vote, and then by June 30th, it needs to be approved by the board. That's by law.
you're just right. It's fine.
So Eddie, our assistant, has collected the votes from Mike Rawls and Megan Colley, who are on the Zoom.
Right on the purple. Okay. What about Mike? Okay. All right. Do I need to
Yes, please, you do. Mhm. Oh,
Well, at this time, I would like to announce a decision on the county school board is to appoint Matthew Grass to the budget committee.
Okay.
Welcome.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll look forward to reading, we'll give you some light reading. It's about this thick
Yeah.
and it's just great. You'll love it. No.
Really, really good.
I tell you, it's really,
really.
it's really interesting.
It's good.
And yeah, we've got a terrific fiscal department and they're wonderful to work with. So
I'm looking forward to it.
thank you so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate your service. And I just want to make a note, Tom Hurst has served on the
Yes.
budget committee for several years. I really want to
That's
thank him for
fantastic.
his service. And he's done an excellent job and maybe we can get him hooked into some other area of service for the board. So, okay, moving along. We'll have a report from the Toledo Junior Senior Administration Team. Good evening. Thank you. Thank you for setting up the room so nicely and the hearts. That was really a nice touch and made us feel really welcome. And the school looks awesome.
Well, most of the credit goes to our leadership teacher and leadership students, but thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you, leadership.
Pass it
Thank you.
along. Thank you so much.
Thank you, leadership.
Well, welcome to Toledo Junior Senior High. Eddie told me we needed to have a 2-hour presentation. So I'm just, we'll be as quick as we can, but it's fun. When you get the chance to brag a little bit about what's going on, it's exciting. So I'm Brent Belville. I'm the interim principal here. You'll meet Chloe Minch, the incoming principal, in just a moment. Again, thank you for allowing us the opportunity to host. We have spent the first semester really working hard to build relationships and amongst staff, students, as well as the community. We've worked really hard to establish systems in our school, kind of how the school is going to operate. Really looking at setting vision for the school. What's next? What are the things that we really want to attack? And now, in all honesty, we're primed, I think, for an exciting next step in terms of really moving things forward as we move into the spring. And with that, I'm going to introduce Chloe Minch. She's the incoming principal, and she's going to facilitate the different groups that we have here to speak tonight. We have some students that are excited to talk with you, and it's fun to share what's been happening in Toledo.
Fantastic.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Brent.
Thank you. Welcome, Chloe.
Welcome. Chloe.
Congratulations. I'm really excited to
Congratulations.
have you, so incoming principal here.
I really appreciate that. I was expecting to be like looking out at people. This is an interesting view, so
Get
sorry,
used
I'm
to
gonna
it.
get sweaty.
No.
All right. I'm gonna start as the athletic director. I was asked to report on the state of our athletics for this year. And so there's a lot of slides. I talk fast. I'm sorry. So fall sports for our high school, we just had some exciting stuff. We have our coach here, our head coach and our JV coach as well. Our volleyball team made it to a play-in game, which was wonderful. And we had some students who made some all-league recognition. Cheer had their first extension hit of the season. That was their coach's favorite part of getting on to the field and cheering on for our football team. For high school football, we have our coach here as well, head coach Bruce Marthaler. And he just thought it was awesome. We earned second in league and we made it to a state playoff game at Colton. We had pep band there for the first time in years, and man, you could hear it in the crowd. It was awesome and
Yeah.
really a phenomenal thing. to have.
Yeah.
Woohoo!
Elizabeth Soper.
And we
Yeah.
also had some other students earn some league mentions and some state mentions as well. So we have some more names to add to our big state organ shape. Should I call that? Big sign in the gym. So that'll be great. Middle school sports. So for the first time at Toledo, middle school volleyball, middle school football, and co-ed disc golf were offered here as an official sport for the fall. And so our middle school program really worked on building foundations. We joined the Far West League, which travels all the way down to Powers and all the way to us. So we're the kind of farthest that you go for the Far West League. So we were gracious that they would let us join in. Our middle school football was also excited to start that. Rod Cross is our coach, and he is just a phenomenal mentor for our kids. And then disc golf was so cool. Christina Webster took that on, and we had Kira Nyberg, one of our students, placed first following like a pretty intense shootout. So we're excited to offer that sport here at Toledo. See, I told you I can talk fast. Winter sports. So wrestling, we actually just this last weekend, we had some students place at districts. So we have, I think, 7 heading to state, which is pretty wonderful. They're doing really well. Ash Blomstrom at this last weekend was named like best wrestler at districts. So it's awesome that we have Toledo students representing us on the mat. For swimming, it's back. So thank you to all those who supported us in getting that back as a club. Not a club, I'm sorry, a sport here in Toledo. Zane and Cody are there representing, and they just ended their season. We didn't make it to state, but we're excited to let this program continue to grow. Basketball, we had a new head coach, Ryan Vargas. He used to run a program called Clutch Time Hoops out in Albany. He's a very advanced and skilled basketball coach. He's just excited to have the kids learning, growing together. Today, we had a big conversation about bringing the love of basketball back to our students, and he's excited to be a part of that. We won the fish back from Waldport. Sad that I couldn't say anything to Steve Cooper or Amy, but we won the fish. So that'll be in our, it's a tradition I learned here. I guess you want to win a fish and put it in your office. So we have it bolted in the front. So it's not leaving. And then cheer, they were on the court as well. So that was, it was just awesome for our student section to have our cheerleaders there supporting our athletes. And for basketball for girls, we have an awesome announcement that'll be on the next slide. Hold your. So again, we have our coach here. He's just a phenomenal guy working with the girls. Sandy McAlpine, our head secretary, was also a member of the coaching staff, and they just did a great job together. Really working hard to, I said next slide, but it's not the next slide, I'm sorry. But they just really worked hard to push the girls, and they had a blast, and they earned an awesome honor that will be on the next slide. For middle school sports, again, this is now the second year of middle school sports having basketball. They're in the middle of their seasons now for boys, and girls finished with Rachel Wallace as the coach here. As you hear, a lot of the names are people in this room. Something that I'm really impressed by in this Toledo community is everyone wears like 7,000 hats. I don't know how they do it, but they do it with like happiness and excitement and glittery sunglasses that don't have frames. Rachel, wear the sunglasses without frames. Thank you. So that's just what Toledo people do. I'm learning about it. It's pretty rad. And so we're just excited to keep working hard in our basketball programs to feed to the high school. Now you can go, Eddie. This is awesome. Our high school girls basketball team was honored as the OSAA 2A team of the month. Bruce, I'm going to tell you. Yeah. Thanks, Bruce. I told you you didn't have to, but.
Thanks.
Go ahead.
Am I reading?
No, you can do whatever you want. We're about it here.
So December, we came down, and at the end of the December month, we had our girls nominated for the team of the month. We ended up sponsoring 2 families for Christmas. The girls came down here and went down, and we went shopping together at Fred Meyer's and got them some toys and gifts for a couple families. We ended up having more than we thought we were going to. So we donated to Toys for Tots as well at the Timbers location. And along with that was we were off to a really great start for a record, and girls had a team GPA of 3.49 for the whole team. So with all those factors, that we got voted in for team of the month.
Thank you.
Autographs later.
Yep. Bruce is awesome. He's also serving on our athletic trainer committee. So he, again, wearing like 7,000 hats, and a dad, and it's awesome. That's how it works here. How you make it work, the village. So spring sports registration is now live. So if you know of any hidden boomers out there that want to participate in one of the, in baseball, softball, golf, high school disc golf, woohoo, exciting, that's new, or track and field, please tell them to go to our website and register. We have, for softball, we've hired a new head coach. Her name is Shaylee Warfield, and she is a fierce woman. Really excited to have her be a part of our team. She is just passionate about softball, and it is rad, and she's cool. I like her a lot. We have OSET, which is wonderful. They registered in the winter, so they're technically a winter sport, but they don't start competing until the spring. They have their first competition next week. Again, we have choir and band, which will be new. We have added that to be a competitive activity here at Toledo. So we are very excited for them, and they will speak on the awesome things they're doing here soon on one of their slides. And then middle school will have disc golf again in April. So looking ahead, I really would like to Toledo to help work with other community partners to do a youth sports connection. That's something that I know is pretty strong in Newport, and I think that's something that we can bring here, just to having all of our agencies work together to better youth sports as a holistic, vertical alignment. We're getting a shot clock, so thanks, Tolan, for all the work you've done on that. Don't know what that means. I'm not a basketball person, so I'm going to rely on Baloney for that, but we're getting a shot clock, so that's new stuff. League changes. Our league has changed. Taft is no longer in our league, so that has created some kerfuffling, but we have a full schedule, Bruce. Woohoo, all the games. Our BSN rep is working up with us a lot. BSN is the company that we use to outfit our teams looking rad in their attire. And they're helping us create systems for our uniforms and jerseys, since that is a new thing for me. And facility and storage spaces for athletics. We're working with Rich and Tim on ways to support all of our programs. I want to give some thanks and praise to Sandy McAlpine. She does everything and everything you could ever ask for our athletics. Karen at First Student, she works wonders and gets people places that I didn't even know that they could. I want to thank Red Cross. He announces all of our games. He coaches any sport I ask him to. So I'm just like, wow. Or someone asks him to. Grad Night has been stepping in whenever we need volunteers for events. And they've provided awesome food for away games, home games. It's pretty great. And all of our staff who volunteer at games. A lot of the staff sitting in this section here have showed up to every single home event. It's pretty impressive. So I'm done, guys. I'm sorry. Thank you. So now on to leadership. Thank you, middle school leadership. Okay.
Good evening.
Evening.
Hi.
So I'm Regan and this is Ryan, and we are two middle school leadership students here to tell you about
a little bit about our leadership class. So leadership is both a high school and a middle school class, but since the high schoolers couldn't be here to represent their part of the leadership class, we'll be representing both classes. And we even came really prepared and gave you guys an essential question. So our EQ is, why is leadership important?
So leadership is very important to our school because
as leadership students, we are held to a higher standard than others. We as a class are responsible for keeping campus clean, planning new events, and helping others feel involved and safe like a big family.
Sometimes you have to give me a signal when you're ready.
Okay, so one of our leadership students is Brianna Wilson, and we asked around just what a leadership student is to them, leadership students in our class. And she said leadership, in a couple words, I would say, is that they're just a bunch of go-getters. So this is really good for us to know that our students are really getting to it and really wanting to do this and be there in that class.
Our leadership values.
Yeah, so our leadership values, we at the beginning of the year made leadership values to show what we build upon. So we build all of our events, all of our assemblies on these leadership values. And these leadership values are
to establish traditions and carry them on with pride,
to project a positive image of our school,
solve problems,
to improve inter-school relationships and improve student interests,
and to listen to students' voices and create an inclusive environment all around.
So our first one is to establish tradition and carry them on. Here are some examples of what we do at our school to really help this.
So we've had pep assemblies during the school day, which cheers on like our winter sports, our fall sports. And then we had Boomer Bash, which is happening every year during homecoming week, which is another event that we've had. And then we do holiday doors in leadership, like we did Christmas doors, we've had Thanksgiving doors, and we did Valentine's doors actually too, so.
And to project a positive image of our school. So we hosted OESC this year, which was a big thing for us. And this really helps our leadership connect with other schools and to just get us connected and to project a positive image showing that we can do this.
We also do this thing called baby boomer readings. Like we have these little baby boomers down at the other end of the school and we go read to them every single Monday. And I guess it just helps them feel more included, like they're part of our school too and not just shut down.
We are planning a princess and prince ball for our elementary students, again, just to get them included and to make them feel a part of our school as well.
We've plastered positive quotes and posters all around the school in an attempt to help students feel lifted up and to get them through the week and feel happy and joyful.
To solve problems. So to solve problems, we had a bunch of students coming up to us, which is great, and asking us questions and suggestions about new stuff we should do and new events that we could have. And so we really couldn't get to all of them. So we did, we put a suggestion box in our office so we could really get all those questions and ideas answered.
And we do dress up days at our basketball games, football games, all of them. And I think it just helps us as a community feel all connected and together, because the more people are excited to show up dressed up in a theme, the more likely that people are going to come down and have a good time with us.
We have our assemblies. These assemblies are to maybe correct behavior or to help us redirect students, which really help.
And as a leadership class, we have this thing called the Senior Advisory Committee, which is basically a committee of like our leadership students that are here to represent us during the Monday meetings. And the Monday meetings are basically a reflection of events. So like if we had a dance, we'd be reflecting on the things that we could improve next time we do it around, or if we had an assembly, what music we could have changed, how we could have done the tunnel, like just different things like that to help us improve each time.
So we like rewarding good behavior by even just saying, good job, I saw you, and noticing those students who are doing good things in our schools, picking up trash, being kind and all of that. So we do like to just reward them.
So to improve inter-school relationships and improve students' interest, here are some things that we've done.
So we do dances, which help our inter-school relationships just to connect with the students and to like see what kind of songs they like. So we do song suggestion lists and stuff like that.
And every Wednesday we have this thing that we call Welcome Wednesdays, and it's basically a big greeting for students to come in and get hyped up with music, because we're here at the entryway cheering people on and having a good time, and then they can come in and enjoy a warm cup of hot cocoa. And it's basically something that just pulls us all together to hold throughout the week.
Yeah, so one of my favorite is our dress up days that we do, just a theme. We do this for homecoming week too, and a bunch of other events, just getting kids excited to come and dress up and have a super good time at school.
And for us being the boomers, we want to show good sportsmanship. So we show our school opponents through whatever sport it is, good sportsmanship, no matter if we won or lost, but we just want to be able to make them happy too. And so have that bond.
To listen to students' voices and create an inclusive environment. So we did our No One Sits Alone campaign, which was really helping those kids who maybe want to talk to other people, but don't really have the courage to go and actually go out and talk to people. So we just had this campaign to really bring it to the surface, to realize that this is happening in our school, and we need to be more up to going and sitting with somebody and just recognizing it.
And last year we had our 2080 club that I ran, and it was basically an anti-bullying club because Miss Crystal here brought it to our attention that during our Do Hard Things Wednesdays, that a lot of children really do suffer from bullying. And so I'm like, okay, what's one thing that can pull us all together and get us out of this mess? So that was one of my attempts that we did last year.
And we're gonna try to get it up again this year.
What is the 2080 club?
So basically like 20% of teenagers are like bullied each year. So that's like over 160,000 kids that skip school because of bullying. And that's a lot to me. And so we want to be able to have that other 80% pitch in and to stop it. So that's where the 2080 comes in.
Beautiful. Love it.
And then again, we have our suggestion box that we talked about in the presentation. These are a couple of our photos that are our Boomer News and our Boomer Yearbook has taken. So the yearbook is a part that helps take photos and does an informational report every week. And so these are a couple. The other one of them is at our assembly where we had a white lie t-shirt dress up day. And then the bottom one is one of our dances.
Beautiful.
I'm gonna have to have you guys pull it to a close because we do have a full, but I think you guys could teach the class because I think you've got this down and what I'm feeling is your enthusiasm and very sincere about wanting to make Toledo the best place ever for everybody here. And it's amazing. You better rub off on everybody. Amazing presentation.
Thank you.
Anybody like to add anything?
I love the no one sits alone thing. That's really important. There's a lot of isolation out there.
Right.
And connecting up with everybody is just goes beyond. And I really appreciate that. Thank you for doing that.
Thank you.
Thank you. I really like the way you present your work.
Thank you. Yeah, amazing.
So I'm thinking that incoming principal men just thinking there are more slides on here and more groups to present and we're out of time. So what is it that would help you? Then let's go ahead and get to it.
Okay,
Thank you so
okay,
much.
thank you.
Thank you. Good job.
Hello. There we go.
Hi, good evening.
My name is Tally Brandon. I'm here to represent the choir.
Awesome.
And I'll go first. So we have had 2 concerts so far last semester. We had a winter concert and the middle school ensemble joined us. And it was our first time performing in the new attire we were given, so dresses and suits. That went well. And we also went holiday caroling to like senior homes. That was a field trip we went on as a choir. That also went very well. This semester, we have 5 possible things. We have 2 concerts that will be here and then 2 festivals that we might be going to. And another one, which is something we've been fundraising for. We've raised $4,000 already.
Wow.
And yeah, that's called Music in May. Yeah, we're really excited about that. And yeah, that's about it for our choir.
My name is Damian Pierce. I am our spirit director for Toledo Junior Senior High School's band program. I believe we've had 14 performances this year, including all of our pep band stuff. We went to quite a few football games. Recently, we've been going to our basketball home games, which were very fun. And oh my gosh, as soon as you get up here, it's just yes. Recently, as it says up there, a lot of our broken instruments that were aging, we've had the opportunity to be able to throw those out and use our newer instruments. With us being such a new band, it is so helpful to be playing a high quality new instrument that doesn't need any of the maintenance or anything of that nature. And all around, I joined band, I'd probably say second semester of last year, and how far Miss Soper has grown the program has been absolutely amazing. I would have never thought we would have been here. So I'm very excited to see where our band goes. That's all for me. Do we have anything else?
We are also OSA eligible now, which that's a really big accomplishment for us. And because our choir is so new and our band as well, it's really impressive to see how far we've come along. And I've been in the choir since my freshman year, which was also the same year Soper joined us. And we've improved so much. And I'm excited for these new things that we have set up for our upcoming spring concerts and stuff like that. And yeah, I'm just excited to be here representing.
Yeah, being able to perform with the larger band is just, it helps so much seeing where you can go.
That's it for us.
I think that is. Thank you very
That's a lot. Thank you so much.
As the students are moving back, Teacher Soper, would you stand up, please? You attend every single board meeting wherever it is. And Elizabeth deserves a round of applause.
Thank you so much. Excellent, excellent reports. We're gonna do a change in the agenda right now, and we're gonna move down to board report to section 9B1. We don't have any public comment people at this time, so we could go ahead and then we will go back to the financial reports. But we're gonna go ahead and go to 9B1. So Megan and Mike, are you following us?
Board action.
I am following.
Okay, thank you. At this time, I will be entertaining a motion to offer an employment contract for 3 years to Maya-Lise Tolan as superintendent of Lincoln County School District. This would be effective July 1, 2023. And we've had some outstanding community forums where we've gone around the district and met with the community and had some very good input and some very good questions asked and a really good turnout of people. And it was really enlightening to the board to be there. And do you want to, anybody else want to add anything at this time?
Do we want to make comments about the my lease now or after a motion?
I don't know.
So the way that this would normally happen is you would call for the vote.
Okay.
And as each board member so feels, they would cast their vote and say a statement about how they feel about their vote. So you might like to start with your online people and ask them, board chair will need to do a person by person vote. And the board should feel free, if they so choose, to make a statement if they would like to. Also, even though I am not voting after we vote, Superintendent Gray also has a statement.
So do we need to make the motion first?
Someone
Yes.
needs to make a
So
motion.
right now I will entertain the motion. I've already stated.
You have to.
I have stated, so I need a first and a second.
Well, I'll make the motion that we offer employment to Maya-Lise Tolan to be our next superintendent for Lincoln County School District.
And,
second.
yeah. Oh, okay. You beat me to it, Mike.
So I have a first and a second. All right. Okay, so we will be going around and first I'll call for a vote from Mike Rawls and a comment. If
Yeah.
if you'd like to.
You ready?
Yeah, ready.
Okay, I vote for Maya-Lise. I think it's a terrific choice. She's been in the district 15 years. I've heard nothing but good things about her. I've not seen her in action other than at the various conferences and whatnot, meetings. But, you know, and I have a few people that I talked to and they were all tickled with it. So that's all I have to say.
Okay, thank you, Mike. Megan Colley, please.
Yeah, I could not possibly be more enthusiastic about this. I vote yes, of course. I think that we are super lucky to have Maya-Lise, to have such a high caliber candidate right here in our district that is already familiar with our district, familiar with our students, committed to our community. I just feel like super lucky to have her. And I did attend one of the community forums. It was great. I heard such positive things there, and also spoken to other community members who were really excited about this hire. So yes, I vote yes.
All right, thank you so much. Peter Vinci.
Yeah, I'm going to vote yes as well. I think that Maya-Lise represents a great transition from Karen's leadership to the future. I think we're going to see with Maya-Lise a continuity of professional development initiatives without burdening staff with additional new initiatives that Look, you saw how great our teachers are from the LCA report, and that is throughout our district, and they're able to do that. And we don't want to impinge on what they can do. I think the depth of Maya Lisa's knowledge of staff is incredible. And she's got the 15 years experience that Mike said, and she's got incredible energy. So.
Okay, thank you. Cynthia.
I know that many of you have heard that I opposed this process from the beginning. I have my reason, and I think you have the right to hear, whether you understand it or not. We have been working on the process of equity for the school district. And for me, it means open the door and keep it open for everyone to have an opportunity, from staff, to students, to parents. And a person of minority and a person of color. It's been very hard to serve on this board the way the system is. So when it comes to social superintendents, a person that we have spoke of is a person I respect and care about. But I have to put that aside. I have to put that aside for the fact that we needed to integrate and give opportunity for people to apply for this position. And we can turn them down. The best thing happened to me was a 2 job I applied for and they turned me down. I learned about my strength and myself. And I also know that I had to work a little harder just because I'm a person of color, I'm not entitled to anything. I don't expect you to understand. I need to say what I need to say. And because of that, I have to say no. Thank you.
All right, thank you. And Liz Martin, Chair of this board, and we are a board. We're made up of 5 individuals, and I respect everyone's position on this board, but we do operate as a board and we operate as a team. And my vote is yes, and ecstatic to hire Maya Lisa. And I think I have been on the board for a number of years, and where she's going to take us is going to be incredible to watch. And I won't be a part of, but I'll be looking from the sidelines. But right now the vote, we have 4 votes in favor of hiring Maya Lisa, 1 against. So the vote passes. Maya Lisa, thank you very much. Okey-doke. She said she'd like chocolate covered strawberries for Valentine's Day, so
That's lovely.
I never had a bad one.
So I want to thank the board for allowing this item to be moved up in the agenda. The building principals and vice principals who came here to support Maya Lisa Tolan in this decision is heartfelt. And they also have a day that starts very early in the morning. And I would like to give you an out to be excused, please, and to go home and get some rest. Rebecca with your brand new baby is in the back, little Bodie. And so, but if you are a district office director, you need to stay because we have the goals and measures document to go over, and the board may have questions for you. Other than that, and including Director Baloney, you may also be excused. Everybody was up at 4:45 this morning. Tim Kaufman texting me, thank you so much for waking me up at 4:45 with your icy roads report, and everybody else can go and we sure thank you.
Happy Valentine's.
Happy Valentine's. Happy Valentine's.
Thank you. Thank you,
Thank you
Ben.
so much for coming and supporting your new superintendent.
All right.
Mean the world.
So we're going to move back to financial report. Good evening, Kim.
Thank you so much. for moving that. Just to give these people a chance to go home. They were up very, very early. Thank you, building principals, vice principals, parents.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for being here tonight.
Good evening.
So appreciate it.
How's everything in Salem? Did you get snowed on in Salem? Okay.
My crew left me.
I apologize for not having the order for to you Friday. I had completed. I thought I had something today. Concentrating on what I needed for my content. So.
Oh, Bodie's had it. There comes Mama. Bodie's done. That's the end of the meeting.
So I've updated the financials as of January 31st on the general fund revenues and expenditures summary. I just want to note the peach colored items. Those are items that we had anticipated originally to receive in December. I had moved them to January. We still hadn't received them in January. And so I moved them to February. Not a lot else to discuss on that unless you have questions. ADM is holding relatively flat. On the monthly comparison, you can see we just continue to have some timing differences between our 6-year average projections versus what we've actually received this year. And we continue to underspend on slightly on salaries and on employee benefits and purchase services as well. Any questions there? On purchase services, I just want to call out on F, the rentals, that is for our football helmet leases. We lease those from a company called Armor Zone. They provide us with the most current technology in helmets, which has increased safety for our students rather than purchasing those. So we lease those now. And then G is legal services for our property services or some property
So Kim, on the helmets,
transactions.
are those from year to year? Those are new helmets then?
Yes,
Or the latest and greatest?
I think every 2 years. they're
Every 2
new.
years. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
They have to be new.
Newest technology.
Yeah, yeah.
You can't
Yeah, but the technology is
have the
advancing.
kids.
It is.
Yeah.
Having old ones.
Yeah.
Special revenue funds, just again reminding you that the negative balances are normal because those are reimbursement grants. We spend the money and then we get reimbursed in the future. On the student investment account, we did recently put in a claim for the 75%. They give us those payments in three different payments rather than just a straight reimbursements. That grant's a little bit different. So that should go into the positive next month.
Does anybody have any questions about the special revenue funds? Not a lot of unusual activity there. Bills and claims, we have, we've made some purchases again for food services to spend down some of that fund balance that we have and to improve our equipment that we have in the kitchens. There's seismic expenses for the project design for Point of View, and then also expenses for the gym, which is progressing nicely, as well as work on the grandstands. And of course, our regular contracted services, also instruments for Toledo Elementary for their music program, and some a chair cart choir risers and podium for Toledo High School's music program.
Kim, what can you tell us about the day wireless system?
Yes, that was emergency responder radio coverage system for Taft High School that was paid with our ESSER2 funds. And that's been a project that's been in the works for quite some time now, and we're really glad to have that completed so that our emergency responders can talk to each other inside and outside of the building.
So do all the schools have that capacity, capability?
Taft High they didn't have that capability because of the location of the school in relation to the radio towers. And so we had to put some special equipment in there to enhance that.
Okay.
Yeah, all the other buildings had emergency capabilities except that building.
Right.
So
Yeah.
there's no way we could live with ourselves. And Kim and Nick were very patient throughout this entire process. We have been working on this for over a year and started the implementation in August, and just never thought, I mean, at one point I just told Kim, hold the check, don't pay him anything. Because we just couldn't get anything finished. And then eventually the police got it, the fire got it, then the sheriff's department got it, and everybody's able to communicate within the building. Because what was our thought? I mean, we were thinking about wildfires 3 years ago. And what if you went as a fire department and you went in there and you couldn't communicate? So it doesn't mean that using a cell phone is easy in that building.
No.
Because it's still tough. You still have to use your data source.
For the radio
Mhm.
frequencies.
But this is different kind of communication. This is so that law enforcement and emergency can talk to one another when they're in the building. Do you understand that? Yeah.
I do, yeah.
Mhm.
And
So-
it sounds like it's pretty expensive technology.
Yes.
It was.
It's a good technology, but we used our ESSER funds for that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
No, that's just totally necessary.
Has to happen.
Yeah,
It
It
has to
does,
happen.
yeah.
You can't live with yourself otherwise.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then on the investment report, again, interest rates continue to climb. Do you have any other questions?
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you. Thanks, Kim. Anybody have any questions for Kim? Oh, already.
Nice work,
So,
Kim.
first student submitted a written report.
Mhm.
Unfortunately, it looks like we're losing drivers, but we had
Mhm.
some people come down from Seattle to help out,
Good.
which is awesome.
Yes, those drivers from Seattle, there are 4 of them currently. They are roughly $10,000 a month, just saying. And right now, we just have to do it because we just don't have any other choice. Lost 2 more drivers today. Our hearts are just breaking because we're training and having people come and then they're leaving. One was due to a family situation, one was a situation we didn't know why. So we've been very lucky to be able to get these drivers down from the Seattle area who do this kind of work. They do itinerant work, but it costs a fortune. We have the money because guess what? We're not paying all the other drivers we wish we had. And so it is a very difficult situation finding staff in any area in the nation, let alone Oregon. Just saying.
Anyone have any questions there?
Not
We'll
easy.
move to nutrition services report.
I think it's like a flyer.
Yeah.
It's just a newsletter.
I had a question. So I'd love to see how much food that you're sending home on the weekends. It's exciting. That's great. So how is that dispersed? How do you get that to the homes?
For the weekends, we're not currently doing weekends. We're doing an after-school program.
Okay, after school. Okay. I thought I saw that, or maybe that's something that you did do.
Used to do backpacks.
Is the compass covered?
Oh, so that's our food pantry.
Oh, okay. That's what
Compass covered,
sorry,
yeah.
I'm not understanding. So.
Yeah, so that's pretty exciting. In 2020 with COVID and then the fire, we realized that we had some gaps definitely to fill in our county. And so what this does is it fills those evenings and weekends, not only for our students, but their families as well. And so we, Patty actually applied for the initial grant through Safeway, Nourishing for Neighbors. So when you go to Safeway and they say, hey, do you want to donate $1? That's where that goes. And so we initially got $70,000 and we were able to start the pantry with that. Rich remodeled the Arcadia cafeteria there for us. And so we have it there. And so basically we utilize the courier system and we pack food boxes. They're about 60 pounds a piece. And if one of our help advocates, HSAs or service coordinators, our new service coordinator position calls us and says, hey, we have a family in need, we ship them a box.
Okay.
We've been able to expand that though now to an actual food pantry in every building. So we actually send them like pallets and cases of food.
Fabulous.
And so we actually just had last week a meeting with Sandy Mummy and all of her staff. And we talked about meals and what we can do and resources and all the things. And so we're really filling those gaps for our students in the evenings and weekends, working with community partners, Walport Lions. They're able to produce a backpack program, but they can't always fill it all the way. So then our pantry backfills. So we make sure that when our kids go home on the weekends, they're getting their bellies filled, not just a couple cans of soup, but full meals, you know, to fill all the meals that they need. And then if there's families in crisis, we have funds set aside to really support them. Secretaries or HSAs can go out and purchase milk, cheese, eggs, whatever they need. So at this point, with all the programs we're running, we have no reason for any of our kids to be hungry in our county at all. It's pretty amazing, actually.
Awesome. Yeah, that's big. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Jamie, I've got a quick question.
Yeah.
Dana Curry retiring.
She did retire,
Yeah.
yes.
Did you have the celebration already?
We did. Sedexo had a holiday party and we honored her there. Eddie and Kim were able to help out with that. And yeah, it was one of the very low key.
I'm sure.
A lot of,
Yeah.
like the fanfare.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
very Amazing person. Rebecca Smith, as you see there in the
Yeah.
choir, she's stepped up. She's a Toledo community member.
Yeah.
She's gonna do really well.
Yeah.
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 Let's say
Awesome.
have her.
Yeah, 40 years. That's incredible.
It's incredible.
Oh, yeah, her knowledge.
Her first job was at Arcadia Kitchen when Garrett was living way back.
Yeah.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah,
Yeah, I know she was long time here
yeah,
when I worked here and
yeah.
just.
Their
wonderful.
institutions.
Yeah, absolutely, right.
Yeah.
You learn so
Icons.
much when people
Yeah.
retire.
And
She taught me so much. I would have came on as GM. I had like very little experience on how to run the whole, how the whole process worked. And Dana was my right hand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you see her out and about and she offers you anything that she's made, just take it. Trust me and take it because she can cook.
She is amazing. Wow. All right. Well, thank you. Yeah,
Thanks, Jamie.
I appreciate it
Thank
so
you,
much.
Patty.
Thank you. Oh, that's right.
Judge.
And if any of you want to be a judge, it's Saturday, March 18th. It
Delicious.
starts at about 9, gets over at about 1:30. And we have this year's your favorite side dish and vegetable and fruit. So we have some pretty amazing recipes.
It's a blast. We haven't done it for years.
Yeah.
I've been a judge.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we had this in Park Rose. I was a judge there too. I just like to eat. Yeah. I don't care who makes it. Yeah.
Where's that gonna be held?
It's at Newport Middle School this year.
Oh, it's always at YV. Of course, they have a little something going on over there, so.
Oh, great. Thank goodness. Thank you, Patty. Thank you guys for coming. If you guys want to go, you're welcome to go.
You're welcome to go. Already.
Okay. Let's see.
Aligning.
Aligning for student success.
Susan Van
Hello,
Leeuwen,
Susan Van Loo. Nice to see you.
the Id Queen. I said you're the Id Queen. You'll find out what that means in just a
Yeah.
minute.
What does that mean? Is it good or bad?
Integrated guidance.
It's neither.
Oh, okay.
Good
yeah.
nor bad.
It's neither fact. It's just a fact. That's right. Just the fact.
Do you
Jack.
fly-
Thanks, ma'am.
It sounds like, do you fly a big balloon up the sky?
Yes, so
Might as well.
in your board packet, you have the slideshow. I don't know that I need to go through the whole entire thing tonight. So I thought what I'd do is try to give you what I think are the big picture things that you just need to be aware of. The integrated guidance takes 6 grants that we've had for years and now is putting them all together into one unit so that we will have quarterly reporting on all 6, all at the same time, all in the same document. And so this is the beginning of the document. And this piece that I'm putting before you today is information that you need to vote on at the next board meeting to approve us moving forward with this application as it is. There may be some fine tuning that we still need to do. I went to Salem today and learned that ODE has updated a template for us, and I didn't know that. So when tomorrow, when I get to work, I get to look at the updated template and make sure that all of that information is in our current template. I think we're gonna be okay. If it's just small pieces. Last week, I found out there was one new question.
Uh-oh.
So I put the new question in, it's already been answered. It's actually in this document. So like things like that are happening. Partially because it's the first time ODE has ever done this. So as they start moving into it, they're fine tuning what they're doing, which then creates us to respond. So I am not doing all the work myself. I get to play with the marionettes, right? The people who are doing all the budgets and ask them to answer questions, and all these people from the district office sitting behind me are actually the ones doing the work.
I've got it envisioned.
That's right.
Master.
That's me.
That's Susan Van Leeuwen.
So these great people are actually doing the work. We've answered all the questions. They're in your board packet. They're all on the website because part of this is having an opportunity for public to give public input. So it went on a website and we sent out a remind to all of our patrons, letting them know they could go and look at it on the website. That was last Wednesday. So when you got it, they all got it. And so they have an opportunity to either speak at this board meeting or the next, or they can email Dr. Gray and give any input. At this moment, we have not yet had any. And so we'll just see moving forward. What you are going to approve next month is our application for us to put into ODE. Once that application gets in, they then work the grant pieces, and somewhere in the spring, I will have to come back to you and ask you to approve the actual IG grant. So it's just piece by piece. So you're just approving an application. That's what's in front of you. And then later you actually approve the granting process, the amount of the grants and those kinds of things.
That's not determined by the state.
Well, the amount of the grants is, but you have to approve how we're
How we
going to
process.
expend them at the end and the full process. In the spring, there will also be
Oh, a piece that we are trying to add before it gets in it, because it's due the end of March. There are some goals that we have to write, longitudinal growth goals. And they're just going to be draft because they're actually not part of the application, but they're asking us to try to put drafts in because part of the legislative action is that ODE and every school district has to work together on these growth goals. So they're asking us to put them in early so that they can then start having conversations with us. And so that's part of the approval at the end also is the growth goals and then how we're planning to expend the money.
Susan, how closely aligned is the integrated application to the school improvement plan?
Thank you. So that was the other big overarching is that what you see, if you look in the budget section, the outcomes there are three of them. The first one is that we will increase our graduation rate. The second one is that we'll increase our attendance rate. And we created a third one that has to do with community engagement. I hope you clearly know that the 1 and 2 are actually our CIP. There are CIP goals, there are CIP outcomes, there are CIP strategies, and then the actions are the budgetary items, how we're actually going to see growth in the outcomes and strategies. So that it's fully that's the point of this for ODE.
I'm trying to wrap my head around this. Is it like a clearinghouse for?
Yes, they wanted everything integrated and then an ability to be able to increasing graduation rate. We have some professional development and multiple different strategies we need to do. Some of that's going to get paid for out of SIA. Some of that gets paid for out of high school success. Some of that gets paid for out of CTE, right? And so it's the way in which you take your strategies and then how you pay for them is from multiple grants. And so they're trying to just pull it all in together. The way we did it actually was to say, this makes no sense if we don't take our SIP that we've worked on for 5 years and say, these are our goals. And then here's how all of these funding sources actually support those goals. So we just made it a very broad piece and directly in line with our SIP. So for us, this was like simple.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of already been doing.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
For us, it was simple.
Integrated.
We have talked to many other districts that have been freaked out by it. Hadn't done any community engagement, have been having to do that since the fall, have been having to create all these things. And we're like, I think we got this.
Yeah.
So it's just for us, it's just been putting it in the new format. And I don't believe it should be shocking to anyone how we're spending our money because it's been the way we've been spending the money and in alignment with the district CIP.
To me, when I think about why ODE is doing this, it's from the years and years and years of complaining from superintendents and the like, that we're doing all this disparate work with all this disparate reporting. How do you put it all together in an integrated fashion? So to me, these are like single strands of rope that now we are braiding together into the mechanism that's going to help us reach our goals, which are our SIP goals for graduation and attendance. When we go over later the goals and measures for our district goals, you'll see how those are the vehicles in order to reach those two broad goals. This puts it all together in a budget, so everybody isn't doing a bunch of budgets. And there are over 100 programs from ODE that we participate in. These are only 6 that they're braiding together.
Right.
Thank God they didn't ask for over 100, because that would have been truly dizzying. But I can see in the long run, once this is done, this could actually be an answer to what we've been asking for. It's just putting this together to begin with. I think our district has done a particularly good job. In fact, my friend Sean Gallagher, who's the superintendent at LC School District, is wanting to work with us so that they can have an example, because they're a little district. How are they going to put all of this together? And you talk about ODE collaboration, it's 197 school districts collaborating on this application. Good luck, ODE,
Yeah,
because I wouldn't want to be them for all the money in the world.
talk about homework.
Talk about, well, you're not, how carefully are they going to be reading our application when there's 197 of them? But that's not the point. It's that we really want to take advantage of this leveraging and this synergy, if you will, because this is synergistic. These things are not done in a silo. Lincoln County School District's MTSS program is not in a silo. And so I think it's been a lot of work for you, Susan, and for Kim and the rest of the team, but in the long haul, I think it's a good thing to do, and it is what we've been asking for.
Yeah, today they
Super
they
hard to
don't
do.
yet even have the reporting system completed because it's new. And yet what they're hoping, like what their intent is that these 6 typically had quarterly reports and they were all individual. So 6 times 4 is 24, right? We would have to do 24 reports around these 6 things. It's now going to come, those 6 pieces will only get reported 4 times a year. So it could drastically reduce the reporting we have to do to ODE about these grants.
And what she doesn't.
A lot of shaking.
Well, right, we still have to report, but it's one time rather than spread out,
24.
and they're all hitting you at the same time, so I don't know that it's gonna really be any better, but that's the intent.
Yeah, I mean,
So-
we don't have a choice. This isn't an invitation.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Like where they've voluntold you. We've had voluntold before. This is not voluntary. We have to do this. So we might as well make the best of it. And they have to make sure that the board hears this. So that's why she's up, because you've got to hear this. It's part of the law. And then this is just a first blush. Then you guys will hear this again. And then you will need to vote on the application and you will need to vote on the grant. So please do look over this stuff the way that you can so that we can answer questions for you.
Yeah, I attempted to make the PowerPoint like
It's
the
really
broad
good.
It's
themes,
good.
so you could
No,
read
it's
it and
really good,
just
Susan.
understand it. And then if you want more in
Super
depth,
helpful.
you can actually go read all of the other words we put in it.
It's good.
Even I got it.
I wanted to point out that these are not all the grants or district monies that we're using to try to meet these goals. This is just representative of how we're using these 6 grants.
Mhm.
So there are other funds that we're using to achieve those
Bunches
things.
and
Do you think
bunches.
you'll,
Right.
at some time that they'll expand this to include other grants?
You don't sound very
That's
enthusiastic,
their
you know?
intent. They have to start somewhere and
Yeah.
they're started with these 6 big ones, but
That's
yes,
good.
there's conversation
Like
that
for-
they're gonna start incorporating more,
Okay,
And the
which
two-
on some level is pretty scary.
Yeah, and the 2 big ones,
you might be gone.
high school success and SIA are the 2 big, recent grants that the state has given us. And they have similar goals. And so that's part of why they've combined the ones that they have. CTE goes with high school
Okay.
success, MTSS. Those with the rest.
I'm sorry that you have to have more paperwork, but it seems to me it's information you already have. It's just
Yes.
putting in
It's putting it
the
together.
template that they want.
Correct.
And coming to a board member in this form makes it really understandable, and it's very informative. I skimmed the second document. And so I've written similar things over my career, so I kind of know how that goes, but I really appreciated it being put together. I did have a question, just a clarification, the quarterly reporting is to the ODE, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Totally do.
And and then once a year to board or more frequently than that?
It'll follow the once a year like the SIA
Okay.
currently has.
Just once a year.
I would have loved to have seen this document when I first came on the board. Just to kind of have a frame to understand. It's, the school district is not just, state school monies. It's all these other things and to be able to put that into some context, I would have found this really helpful.
That's part of it too, is transparency for the public on how we're spending those funds.
That's what I see.
Because they're high profile,
Yeah.
measures and.
Yeah.
Legislation.
Yeah, the SIA is corporate activity tax. People are always attacking.
Yeah.
High school success was a ballot measure. So, yeah, these are highly public. I think that'll do for tonight.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
You're very
Sonia.
welcome.
All right,
Excellent work.
really.
Excellent work.
Board reports. Megan, are you still on? Oh. Mike, board report? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
I really don't have anything to add though, since I've been locked up, so.
All right, we're gonna keep moving along then. Okay, Peter?
Well, I'm glad we got a chance to go into the culinary room. Mike and Megan, when you get a chance to be over here, make sure you go into that space because it's being super utilized. The very popular program. Love to see that. Any kind of hands-on education, I think is just so stimulating for students. Love to see that. Just want to point out, I don't know if you notice when you go into the foyer of the school, Rachel Wallace has got her students' artwork, her photography up, and it's all about the students, all the activities that they're doing. I love that space. It's just kids come in and what do they see? They see a reflection of themselves. This is their building. This is where they live and work. And I just love that concept. I love them seeing themselves. It's a great way to establish climate and identity. And I really love that. So I want to give a little shout out to Rachel Wallace and what she's doing with that. So.
Cynthia?
I go in regular basis to play the ukulele during lunchtime with the student at post school now, picking up post school. I want to say how smooth the kitchen, I don't know what's going behind. It's running in post school. And then Bobby and the senator, I mean, that nothing fell on the floor. He's following the kids, and then you realize that's why that area is so clean, because he is constantly moving when the kid, following the kids, picking up the whatever it drops. And next thing I know, there's all the children sitting on the floor, singing along while playing the ukulele. So I want to thank you for all and the extra work to feed the family, which very much needed, really good to see. So, and then I went into Aspire and the health program. So it's just dropping in and saying hello. So it's a good place. And today I deliver my the little hobby. I made the children. All the children in that report got a.
How about this child?
So here you go, child.
You.
And you guys can have.
Isn't that sweet?
Love the stuff she makes. It's so adorable.
Every time I painted it or colored with them in my mind. So they were always.
Beautiful.
Thank you, Cynthia. Awesome.
And I was gonna write down, learn to read it to learn and enjoy, but I didn't have the time to sit down and write all of that, so. But thank you. The other thing that they last, but I didn't want. I was so overwhelmed with the gifts that we received during the month of the board.
Oh, that's so nice. So
gorgeous.
thoughtful.
What a beautiful.
Yeah,
gift.
thank you so much. Got some nice gear to wear.
Beautiful stuff.
Yeah. I just want to make a quick comment. remind everybody about the CTE fair tomorrow
Tomorrow.
at Oregon Coast Community College. It's big and I think you're going to get an amazing turnout and I'm just really excited and want to thank Susan for all the great press that she's been doing for our whole district.
This is Miley's thing, I can tell you.
Yeah,
That's
but
how we do
Miley's put this program together
Absolutely.
and it's amazing. And I keep telling people, you need to come just see for yourself, to see it in action. So really excited. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Sandy.
Thank you. Safe drive home. The next thing we have up, the food services request for proposal. We did get the proposal sent out to us last week. We all got a chance to look through. Centelia made a really good catch on something.
Yes, thank you very
Second
much.
Yeah, it was awesome, the second meal program. So I'll let you take it over, Kim.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I want to say that we are required every 5 years by ODE to go out for submit a request for proposals for food service management companies and it's no reflection on our current contractor. We've been with them since 2003. We're still very happy with them, but we're required by ODE to do this process. So the document that's in the board packet is mostly ODE's template, just with our information filled in. I would request that the board, in order for us to get this approved and give you a full month to review the actual contract. That's the most important piece because that's what governs our dealings with whoever we choose. I'd like you to have enough time to review that contract. So in order to keep on that timeline, we would need to approve the RFP tonight so that I can start advertising tomorrow and keep on that schedule.
Right.
Any questions?
Any questions for Kim? If not, at this time, I'd entertain a motion to approve the RFP for food services contract that director or the business service director Kim Kuzik has given us. Do I have such, do I have a motion? Do I have a?
I second.
Okay, first and second.
Well, I'll move that we approve the RFP.
Okay, first, I think the first and a second, sorry.
First and a second.
Sorry, I'm, it must be getting late. All right. I don't. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Are there any nays? Motion passes. Thank you, Kim. Thank you for your hard work. Right. At this time, we have a golf co-op between Toledo and Newport High School. That's something we're kind of getting used to doing here, so.
Yeah, I told Chloe she could take off. So she texted the stats of it completely to me. Toledo has 2 freshmen, 2 sophomores, and 2 seniors who want to golf, which I believe is up from last year's number. But the current coach is no longer able to hold that position. There's also kind of lack of playing facility in Toledo. They posted it, but they did not get any applicants. And with the new rules with OSAA, we are able to continue a co-op with Newport like we did first one this year, which will also be good for Agate Beach Golf Course because they were awesome last year and let us try to run 2 of our teams out there, but that was difficult for them in a peak season, you know, with tourists and everybody coming too. So much appreciated to Agate Beach. But having one team is easier for when we do practice facilities and things. So we would like to see you approve the co-op so we can submit it to OSAA.
All righty. Any questions for Miley's? All right, at this time, I'd entertain a motion to approve the golf co-op between Toledo High School and Newport High School, only if Newport High is unable to hire a golf coach. Do I have such a motion?
I'll make it brief. So moved.
All right, do I have a second?
I second.
Thank you. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? There being none, motion passes. Thank you very much.
Just so you know, Wildpart is winning their play-in game right now.
Oh,
Yeah, that's what I've been watching back.
oh my gosh. How exciting.
Oh, my gosh.
All right. Okay, we'll move on to the superintendent's report.
Do we have one more, the LBL ESD local service plan that we have to vote on?
Oh, thank
For
you.
9B2.
I really got out of wacky.
So out of all of the LBLESD service plan, which is so big, it doesn't fit anywhere on anybody's hard drive. It is the same exact local service plan. These service plans are approved by the superintendents, solely by the superintendents. And we're the ones by statute that have the responsibility to pick the items that are in tier 1 and tier 2. Tier 1 is things everybody pays for. Tier 2, we get flow through money that we get to pick and choose different things we want to do. The only thing that they're adding this year is cybersecurity. And all but one of the 14 superintendents voted yes to add cybersecurity to tier 1 so that we can all get in on some more cybersecurity because crazy stuff is going on out there. That is the only major change in the local service plan. So it's required by law. We should have done this last month, but because we had a superintendent holdout, we had to wait a whole nother month. But anyway, normally you'd vote on this in January. This is just to vote on the local service plan menu, not everything that we are getting on the menu.
So does that make sense to everyone?
It does.
I thought I'd save you some reading.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Good word.
Thank you for catching it. Right now, I will entertain a motion to accept the local service plan adopted by Lynn Benton and Lincoln Educational Service District and published in the February board folder. Do I have such a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Thank you, Mike. Do I have a second?
I second.
Thank you. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? None being opposed, motion passes. Thank you very much. Okay, now that I think we got that cleaned up there. Okay.
Great. So my suggestion is that everybody stand up. Because I have about 25 minutes and everybody's getting tired, but it has to be done. So if we stand up, we'll get a little blood flowing here. I'm not going to make you meditate, I promise. Because otherwise I would leave you in the 5-minute meditation, which would help you. Just stick your face in it. It's really fun to just stick your face in it. Oh, not really. I'm planning on eating mine in the car. That is definitely going in my face.
Yeah.
Okie dokie, guys, great. Just to give your little brains a little shove.
There's so much to say.
Just making it for.
Yeah, dance party. Somebody put on the music. No, just to get a little bit of blood flow going. Because we have a few more minutes. And I want you to listen to me and not go to sleep. Oh, if any possibility.
You want a cracker? No, I'm good.
So before moving on to the superintendent's report, I do want to make a shout out, and that is that some folks have known that our technology director is having some health issues. And I want to thank Brian Fresky, who is sitting over there, for taking on the duties as acting tech director while Vince is getting better. So I just want to point that out, that is, I told him that, we were going to throw him in 12 feet of water, but his floaties would work. And his floaties are working so far. Yeah, in the ocean.
Thank
you. And Brian has just done a brilliant job of keeping things together. Okay, so that if somebody could help me, maybe Eddie, would you just list the superintendent's items one at a time? I know your mouth is full. Stop eating crackers. Just tell
So
me what
first
I'm
we have
doing.
the selects. You want me to list all the?
No, just one at a time.
Oh, Select Valley Charter School
Okay,
evaluation.
Great. So last year, due to some concerns that I had regarding Siletz Valley Charter School, and after 6 individual observations of the school K-12, including every classroom twice, I asked the school board if they would approve me going through the Oregon School Boards Association for an evaluation of the school. That evaluation was provided to the board under separate cover. And in fact, last week, several board members met with a board member and the principal of Siletz to review the report. All in all, the areas that were most concerning to me were systems of education regarding the K-12 strategic plan. Their last strategic plan was in 2019. Timeliness of some of the reporting that they needed to do, and an overall lack of communication with the district. I feel like the meeting was incredibly productive with Vince, Peter Vinci, and Liz Martin, and board chair Stuart Whitehead of Siletz Valley, also a tribal member, and Casey Jackson, the executive director. Next steps are we're going to be meeting with tribal council, and Eddie is going to set up a meeting for me and my Elise and Casey and Stuart to report to Siletz Tribal Council about what we're doing so that they can know what we are doing and be a part of that solution. The Siletz Valley Charter would like to have a joint board meeting with the Lincoln County School District Board. It's a great step in the right direction, just like with OCCC. That's part of the communication. On May 9th, both charter schools, Eddyville and Siletz, are required to report to the board their continuous improvement plan statistics. At that time, Casey will have a strategic plan, something they currently do not have. And we're also looking for a coach for Casey Jackson. And I emailed her last week, and she was definitely hoping for a coach. So she would really like to have someone help her be a new principal. She's never been a principal before. She used to work at Siletz as a counselor. So she's got her heart in the right place. She wants to make it better. We have faith in them, but these are our kids, and we need to know that they are getting the best education that they possibly can. So you have the report, and I would entertain any questions from the board, particularly those of you that were not in attendance. We can't have more than 2 board members at a meeting without noticing it. So that's why we have the chair and vice chair. Did anyone have any questions regarding the report?
Karen, I had one question.
Go ahead.
One of the issues that's highlighted in the report is licensure for teachers.
Yep.
And are charter schools required to have all licensed teachers?
No, they are not. They are required to have 50% of their teachers licensed as a regular TSPC license, and the other 50% can have a certificate from Oregon Department of Ed. So they're required to have something from the Department of Ed. But no, they are not all required to be licensed, but certain people, you have to have something. You can't have nothing. Otherwise you can't work there and get paid.
Different from emergency license?
Yeah, it is definitely different. The charter law in Oregon gives the flexibility around this 50% licensure from TSPC on purpose, so that people can have an engineer work for you, an architect work for you, some community member that does something. But in the last 10 years, they've required a certificate. They used to require nothing. Now, if somebody needed a license and they needed to get an emergency license, they could get that. They could get that as part of TSPC, but not under the certificate for ODE. They could not. And they were showing some lack of licensure. And this was a very good report by OSBA, by Kristen Miles. She's an expert, and the school district paid for that evaluation.
I thought she was really fair. She
was fair.
highlighted lots of positives that they were accomplishing, and especially since the change in leadership at that school.
Yep, I think the evaluation precipitated the change in leadership at that school. And thank goodness for that. Moving on.
Next,
What's
you have
next?
Dr. Mary Pitcher's resignation and the LCSD plan.
Yes, so I wanted to make the announcement. Some of you saw the announcement that Dr. Mary Pitcher, the principal at Ocean Lake, is retiring at the end of the year. And we have offered the position, Katie Barrett and I offered the position to her vice principal, Starla Nelson. Starla's been in the school for 10 years, and she's very experienced at Ocean Lake Elementary and is a longtime Lincoln City kid, went through Lincoln County School District. She is a native to Lincoln County School District. She's very organized, she's very savvy. She has a very clear picture around multi-tiered systems of support. I'm sure that Katie Barrett could go on and on about her. She will need to pick an assistant principal. But that's why we always say, if you want to be a vice principal in Lincoln County School District, you have to be principal material. It can't be that you're a vice principal and you want to stay there. You're not going to stay there. You're going to become a principal. It's going to happen. And so we really don't want vice principals coming into the district that aren't prepared to be a principal. And they're highly trained. And so when we put a vice principal into a principal's position, they already know what the work is. They don't need to be trained into it. So I'm pretty excited about that. And as you know, with Crestview Heights, Sandy Battles will be the new principal there. Mike is retiring again. And so he's done a great job of mentoring her for the last 3 years. He's a good soul and he's a great guy. And she'll be also picking a new assistant principal as well. I think we're going to do that through a pool. And that's going to be happening very shortly. With the fact that Elise Tolan is the incoming superintendent, her position as secondary director will need to be filled. And that may cause a ripple effect throughout the district. So we will continue to keep the board updated and make solid decisions for Lincoln County to keep our good work moving forward. Now that the train is on the track with the right people in the seats, we'll just keep our train moving, but we'll keep you posted. Look for an announcement either February 21st or February 24th. We will have a significant press release on who's going to be where in administration. And you already know about Chloe Mensch. Kathy Byer will be assistant principal, and we're looking at that third assistant position. Any questions about that? If you do, please do email me and copy the chair. What's next?
Next, you have the LCSD 2022-23 board and superintendent goals and measures.
Yep. So this is a very lengthy document. I have no heart to review all of this with you piece by piece. In fact, it's probably not fair to do that to you, but we measure our goals. We don't just have goals, we measure our goals. And that's one of the things that makes us as a standout school district, is that we measure what we treasure. And these goals are these three goals in the board and superintendent goals and measures are 5 years of work culminating in these goals and measures. And some of them we've taken off our book and some of them we've kept on because we haven't met our goals because of the pandemic. And that's just the way it is, but we just keep moving forward. We report to the board in February and we report to the board in June. In August, the board meets in retreat to determine if we're making enough progress in what areas and what you want to keep and what you want to change. And that's a logical way of running a school district. So the first one is on increasing attendance. I think you can see from the numbers that we're not there. And so regular attenders are what? They're not just the regular state attendance. If it was the regular state attendance, we'd be at like 80–90%. That's not what we're looking for. Regular attenders are 90% of the kids attending 90% of the time. Why? Because when you do that, you learn better. And so that's why it's everyday matters, school matters, every day counts. And we have a higher standard than the state has. So We want 90% of our kids going 90% of the time. And we're struggling in attendance. We're struggling. We're just struggling.
Those numbers are just, I thought there was something wrong.
Yeah, well, me too. And even if you look at the board goals, they're only a 5% increase.
That wasn't-
It's mind-boggling how difficult our attendance is. Now, you know that we don't get paid on attendance, right? We get paid for enrollment. But if we were paid on attendance, we'd be in trouble. Thank God we don't, but we've got a ways to go. I'm looking at Wellport Middle School. They almost hit the board goal.
Yeah, but then you look at Ocean Lake.
No, I'm saying, oh, absolutely.
So I guess, what are we doing?
Well, we could have a whole report on what we're doing, rather than doing it right now. I would suggest that we have that at a subsequent board meeting so that we can, it isn't as if we are just sitting here.
Well, I understand.
Just
that.
saying, but you want to know the details and I know you, Liz, so that is great. You know, we look at YV Elementary School with 41%. We look at Sam Case with 59. It's appalling and I don't know what to tell you. Like I said, this isn't the way the state does the attendance. It's how we do attendance. We are looking at regular attendance. So I do want you to keep that in mind, but that is our standard. And our standard is a higher standard and that's the way it is.
Well, what's the state standard for?
It's just a regular average. So like, if you look at any of our schools, they'd probably be 80% to 90%. I mean, the report card attendance always looks great.
Yeah, that's why
But that's not our attendance according to our goal. Our goal is you need to regularly attend, which means you can't miss 10% of
I think
the
it's really
mark.
important that we have that as a standard.
You have
We
to.
work toward it,
You have to.
because if the kid's not there,
They can't learn.
right, and if a bunch of kids aren't there,
No.
then the progress of the whole class gets affected.
Yeah,
I feel like I want a disclaimer though.
yeah.
Seriously. That really
Me
said,
too.
you know, this is. Because if somebody else looked at this, they would freak.
Oh, of course they would. That's
And-
why I'm explaining it.
But
And we can put a disclaimer on there,
I-
defining regular attendance.
I think so.
We haven't got back to pre-pandemic either.
No.
I'm just saying, we haven't. The nation is struggling. The kids are struggling and we're in a state of denial if we think the pandemic didn't happen. And our kids are struggling, their academics are struggling. In our Katie and my Elise at our professional development yesterday, Mike Mattos, who's our famous guy who came and talked to us yesterday, he said, we're still pre-pandemic. I mean, we can't get there. It is really difficult. I like the idea of a disclaimer, just so that people know what we're measuring.
Well, it's important that
we're not
people
there.
understand that our goals are,
They're high.
they're high, right?
And they're
Expectations.
appropriate.
Yeah, I mean, it's all good, but I mean, you
Yeah.
gotta,
Well, so you go on to the next one and you look at our 9th grade on track and our graduation rates beat the state.
yeah.
So, I mean, we're doing something right. So when we look at our 9th grade on track, those are the best numbers we've sported in years. And then you look at how many dual college credits we've earned. We're just doing a really excellent job on dual college credit attainment. So our secondary goals are doing better than our attendance goals, which is great. I mean, especially if you look at our 4 and 5 year graduation rates. But our attendance is not good, you guys. It's not good. And we can do a report on that if the board wants. We can tell you everything we're doing. We're trying. It's kind of a laissez-faire attitude. I'm not going today. Okay. We have that with employees. Yeah. I'm not going today. It's 50 people absent on Monday from our PD. So go figure that out. I just want to pull my hair out. My face off. I mean, it just really makes me crazy. 50,
That's out of 300.
50 out of 300 people are missing professional development. Okay. And looking at PBIS, what's your thoughts about this data when you look at You can see the total number of students. You know, the reports that I get, especially I got from Toledo High School, was starting at the beginning of the year to now is no comparison. In their discipline is way down, but you have a tier 3 of a certain triangle of kids that are repeat offenders and they're really struggling. What are we doing to help them? This has the total number of kids in tier 2. Tier 1 is every kid. Tier 2 is small groups. Tier 1 is individual. We're really making our way to a really good percentage. This is another great report by Kelly Boudry, who so far is the person in the district that I think understands our data the best, at least how to use it with Synergy. She could teach it, and she does. I think that we're really moving from tier 1 to tier 2 for most schools. We have a long way to go. We're not there. Aligning K-12 mathematics, woohoo, we're finally doing it. And so we've got our curriculum, we've got our instruction, we've got our training. Again, this is a whole other topic that Maya, Elise, and Katie could do a complete 2 hours on if they wanted to, on how we are aligning our math standards. Math standards in the state of Oregon are scary. They're so bad.
What do you say? They're so bad?
They're so bad.
Are they not?
We are not a great state when it comes to math.
Never have.
And never have been, and neither is the country. But we don't have to put up with that. So we have a wonderful K-12 mathematics curriculum. We are teaching our teachers how to teach math concepts, and our AVID work and teaching strategies is helping our kids to grow. I am very excited with our professional teachers on special assignment that we have at the district level in mathematics. We are teaching teachers how to teach math and not be afraid of it. And I'm excited to see what we're going to do. And again, we do have a long way to go. We're making inroads, but we're not there. And I'm not going to say we are when we're not. Super excited about secondary classrooms, having adopted financial algebra and college algebra. Our kids can go pretty far in mathematics in our school district. And we also have partners at the college.
Karen, I have a quick question about integrated 3. That's the highest high school math class.
I don't think so. Go ahead, Miley.
Okay,
We do
that's
calculus here.
available to kids.
Yes,
Because the
integrated 3 would
track
never
that-
be as.
okay, the track that I was on when I was in high school a long time ago, I had calculus as a senior.
You can take calculus.
If they're on a track, they would take integrated 1, integrated 3, as we call it, algebra 11. But if they take in algebra, integrated 1, and 8th graders,
Right.
they could go all the way up to calculus. It's only offered in 2 of our schools, but it's offered to the college, so any of our.
Okay. Okay, great. You know, for those kids that are bound for engineering school.
Well, they have a proclivity.
Yeah. Right.
Just as we talked about with talented and gifted.
Yeah.
A child should be able to go as far as they
Right.
want. So like we have a student, Toby, he's at Walport. He's beyond Ananda when it comes to mathematics and science. And so we try to put him in every class we can get him in, including online classes from university if we need to. We don't want to stop any child from what they can do. And I'm very proud of our mathematics. Kate, almost forgot your name. Katie and Maya Elise have really taken the bull by the horns, and that's what all this curriculum adopting is all about. It's about having a bona fide and guaranteed excellent curriculum that, if taught correctly, will bring kids where they need to go. It needs to start in kindergarten. It can't start in the 10th grade. So we need robust learning at all levels. Continuing to align our AVID, I know Maya, Elise, and Katie were delighted in making sure that we have our AVID set up for June. They are closing fast. All of those institutes are closing. They have so many people in them. Oh my goodness, so brilliant.
80 additional teachers are going to get.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Avid is still the best professional development on the planet, and I want us to keep doing it. I hope when I email you from points unknown and say I'm still doing Avid, I hope you say yes. Increased student engagement, all of this piece was written, well, most of it was me and Brian. But you know, we're down 400 kids and we're going to be down 400 kids. And it's not coming back. So we're trying to increase student engagement by using PBIS and literacy strategies, by using Avid strategies, using our ed tech with our EEE framework. We are doing everything within our power to engage our students in the learning. And in fact, with this Center on Educational Leadership today, YV and Sam Case are a K-5 cohort. And the question there was, how does student engagement match up to the student learning experience? And it was a brilliant day of learning today with tons of data that YV and Sam Case are discussing with our coach, Jen McDermott. There's so much here. I can't do this justice in 10 minutes because this is like our bread and butter. This is what we do every day. But at least we're taking some statistics.
Well, maybe
on it.
we'll get a chance to look through it and.
Love it.
And, you know.
Please,
Email you
please
any questions that we
say,
have.
hey, here's my question. I got on this page. What's that? Or why is that? Or would you do a little presentation on that? I would love to do that. I would love to do that, but we do so much, I don't know what to tell you all the time. And then goal number 3 is creating an equity lens and an accompanying AR and implement district-wide while providing culturally specific outreach. We hired a family Hispanic liaison, and we've already had a meeting. We had a community meeting, something we haven't had for a year, and people showed up and brought their kids. Katie was there, Sandy was there. Our new person, Kevin Cruz, was there. He lives in Toledo. He's adorable. He's from Nicaragua. And we talked about Katie's $34.99 language acquisition. We asked him, how's school? How are your kids doing? What's wrong with the district? Tell us what's the challenges. And we were like super open. And then we went over the equity policy. And they were like, it's about dang time. And they were delighted that the district had a policy called an equity lens. And they just were amazed. And we're going to meet again. We're going to have a workshop on parenting and sex ed and colleges and all kinds of stuff, all chosen by the families, all done in English and Spanish. And then next time it will be done in Mom as well. And then the board has its strategic plan, which is a beautiful strategic plan. I hope you keep it and discuss it and change it and morph it. But you have a 5-year plan that goes to 2025, which includes the creation of a political action committee in the fall for a 2026 bond. And I can tell you, Rich Bologna has big plans for you, and he's super excited. And so am I. The gathering is going to be planning with the board on March 21st. We will be planning the next gathering of leadership. Bring your ukulele. And hopefully we'll get you to play this time, and it will be wonderful. And some of the topics we're talking about are resetting civic norms and also stepping up our enhanced ways to partner. We're going to look at all the people we want to come, who came last time, who do we want to come this time, and we're already reserved at the Best Western. I'm super excited about that. I always love that. That's so much fun. Anything else on the board strategic plan that you want to update us with? It's a long evening, so do take a look at this. And if you have comments or questions or concerns, I would love it if you email me and email the chair. And then we put out our answers to everyone so that everyone is on the same page.
You have thoughts on budget?
I have thoughts on budget really quickly. The governor's proposed budget is $9.9 billion. From our presentation that Kim gave us at the work session, which I brought tonight, we saw that she gave us what we currently have, which is 9.29 billion over the biennium. And then she extrapolated out 9.5 billion would put us almost $4 million short. 9.7 billion would put us $2.9 million short. 9.9, which is what the governor proposed, where I think that's where we're going to land, is 2.5 million short. And the 10.3, which is kind of the nirvana of numbers, would still put us $250,000 short. So I believe that we will be at the 9.9. I know we're not going to get 10, and I don't think we're going to get much under. Our revenues are still very good in the state. I think we'll do a double kicker. So that would keep us at about $2.5 million shortfall. And my initial thoughts are that we will be looking at reducing our current PERS rate, which is something we need to do, which we discussed at our work session, which will help us out of about $2 million of this shortfall. We also have a budget that is supporting an extra 400 kids, and that needs to change. So we're supporting too much FTE in the teaching ranks. And so that has to change. You can't keep supporting 400 kids that aren't there. It's not right. So we've gone over class by class, school by school, and we will be having more conversation about a reduction in force through attrition that we're going to have in the school district. So can't keep supporting kids that aren't here. So that's my thoughts on budget. It's not bad thoughts.
And then
It's
you
not
have
bad.
this school calendar.
So you have a copy of the school calendar. Anybody have questions?
I really haven't got a chance to look through.
Okay, so this is just a proposal. You'll vote on it next time. It's great. It's a great calendar. It's got what does it have? First day of school is the 5th of September, which is the day after Labor Day. Winter break is the 18th of December to the 1st of January. Pretty typical. Last day of school will be the 12th of June. That gets us to 190 days for licensed, 178 instructional days, which are required, and 170 student contact days. It's a really normal schedule. But I do ask you to please look at it at some point because the board has very specific duties, and one of them is the calendar.
Well, I'm just gonna make a suggestion that you don't have a professional development day the day after the Super Bowl. I mean,
Well,
you don't think it matters? No. I don't know. They talk about how many of the workforce don't miss the day after Super Bowl, but you don't think that had any bearing on it? I mean, it is. I just.
yeah, it hasn't changed our
It just
numbers.
disappoints the heck out of me. Absolutely.
It kills me.
Can't believe
just
it.
kills me. And legitimately, some people are sick, but some people aren't. Anyway, take a look at the calendar, see what you think. And what's next?
You're done, girl, for a little bit. We're gonna go ahead and move to the adoption of the consent calendar. At this time, I would now entertain a motion to approve the consent calendar as published in this month's board agenda. Do I have such a motion?
Before we take a motion,
Uh-huh.
I just wanted to check in with you, Eddie, about the minutes.
What question about the minutes do you have?
They're not in,
They're not in there.
so you'll double up next
Okay.
month.
Okay,
Okay, thank you.
just wanted to
Good call.
follow up on that.
Yep,
Thank you.
yep.
Um,
So
So,
Make a motion.
I made the motion. I just need to do
Oh, I'll second it then.
that. I mean, I'm asked for a motion, so you.
I'll move that we approve. the
You'll
consent
move.
calendar.
I'll take
Lovely
a
Wednesday.
second. Hey. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? None. Okay, thank you. Moving on to human resources, the information only is the contract for renewals and extensions. You'll get this every year. It's a chance for you to look through and get back to Dr. Gray if you have any questions about any of them, about how it works and about if there's someone that you have. So I have a couple questions for you that I will
Absolutely.
give to you that.
I'll see you tomorrow morning at 8.
Yes, that I just looked through. So, and we don't have Tiana here tonight. So,
Yep, and we would not be asking these questions I mean, these are, some of these are delicate issues.
no,
that
I
we would
wouldn't
not
ask.
be doing.
I just had,
That's why we put them under separate cover.
I had an overall comment, just
Go
looking
ahead.
at the personnel
Mhm.
action. I just,
Mhm.
I noticed, you know, we had a lot of short-term employees,
Mhm.
a
We sure
great
did.
deal of them,
Mhm.
like 30.
Yep.
That-
People coming and going,
I mean, like within 4 or 5 months.
within 4 or 5 days.
Yeah, I just,
I have people that came one day and left.
so-
Yes, it is a phenomenon. I think it's on the front page of the paper. This is a nationwide teacher shortage, classified shortage, worker shortage, and people coming and going. You have a class of kids, I'm out of here. Bye-bye.
Yeah,
I don't know what to tell you.
it's just so disappointing. that
It's so
The time and energy that you put in to get someone into that
Oh, my
position.
goodness. It costs us thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars.
And then to have them, you know, not
And yet
stay, I
stay.
just,
Mhm.
I just.
I don't know what to tell you.
Really.
We are
stood
in a
out.
crisis.
Really,
in
really
America.
stood out to me, so.
Yeah,
anyway.
no staying to the end of the year, not even staying till spring break.
No.
Right.
Mhm. Mhm. Okay, I'm just gonna keep moving ahead if that's okay with everyone. We don't have any public comment tonight. No, thank you. There is a complete list of reminders and announcements, and I want everyone to
Make sure you do that one.
make sure that you take a look at your schedule, and your
You really
calendars,
watch those.
because there is a lot going on. There's a lot of things going on. The joint meeting with the OCC at 5 o'clock, I'm sorry, I'm
2
going
weeks
to
from
miss it,
tonight.
but that's gonna be awesome. We do have a change just for you to, Eddie, I'm sure will let us know, but of schools, our April 11th meeting will be at Taft High School.
Taft Elementary.
Taft Elementary.
We're gonna
Okay.
switch over to, so let's be clear. On April 11th, we switched April and May between Taft Elementary and YV. The reason for that is that we want to meet at 5:30 before the board meeting at Taft High School, which is right across the street from Taft Elementary. They've already got to have their board meeting there, so we're gonna continue to have it at Taft Hill so that we can demonstrate to the board and the community our new learning lab. You've all heard about this pumped up media center that Brian has designed and put in, and we want to demonstrate it to you. So we want to do that early to the budget because we want to put these at the 4 other secondaries, and that has a budgetary implication. So we can't do it in May when we're presenting the budget. It needs to be in April. We have no time in March. So that's why the board meeting in April is going to start at the high school. We're gonna hang out in the media center, get a presentation, and then go down to Taft Elementary and have our meeting.
Okay.
And then in May, we're at YV, and in June, we're at Newport High.
So, and also note on March 21st, we're gonna be having a planning meeting for the leadership gathering at 5 o'clock. So everyone
Right.
that could be there, it'd be really nice to have everyone's
That'd be so nice.
input. And You know, this is a busy time for everybody. I understand that, and for the board and it has been a busy time and it will continue to be a busy time.
We're a busy
So,
board.
yeah, it's good. We're getting a lot of great things done and, so everybody marks their calendars. And again, I just want to say welcome to my Elise. I'm really excited and happy for
What a
you
gift.
to take over the reins. Is that, I've talking at the meetings and I said, opportunity, and that's what I feel. It's a wonderful opportunity for Lincoln County School District and I hope it's a wonderful opportunity for you as well. Good jobs, but work both ways, so it's awesome and welcome to you. I'm really excited.
Absolutely.
Does anybody have anything else for the good of the order?
I will make the February 16th centennial meeting because I'm going to go see my daughter and granddaughter.
Oh, that's- Okay, all right. And Centelia, do you have anything for the good of the order?
I mean, neither.
Karen bought us. cup-
Yeah, those are my,
Thank
that's
you
my.
very-
gift
thank
to
you.
you.
Happy
For
Valentine's Day
Valentine's.
and thank you everyone for staying and meeting adjourned. I really like that thing, don't I? That gavel.
Yeah, no.
I really